Hi everyone and welcome to episode 3 of Versus4 at Juventus with me, the United City FM. Welcome to Versus4 if this is the first time joining us. There are 8 content creators all playing in parallel saves with Juventus, every one of us, and we're trying to see who can get the most Serie A league points with Juventus in one season. There are 2 groups of 4, the top 2 from each of those 2 groups go through to a second season where we'll play again to see who wins the overall title of Versus4 champion. And again, it will be in the second season about how many points in Serie A you get with your Juventus side. So this is mine. If you were with me for the last couple of episodes, you'll remember that we got off to a pretty good start actually. It was pretty decent, a 4-0 win at the beginning of the campaign against Cagliari. But then we came unstuck a little bit. We lost to Lazio and then we had a couple of draws against Bologna, Fiorentina. And to be honest, that's all it takes when you're playing as Juventus to really cause a problem. And in my group currently, I'm sitting at the bottom of it because a lot of the other content creators either had like 1 draw, maybe a loss in there, but otherwise went pretty much undefeated. So if you lose points, it's really hard to get them back again, and so that's what we're discovering, but we're giving it as good a go as we possibly can. The last time you and I were together was for the Verona match where we got a good win and started a bit of a good run of form at that point, having had those draws recently. And since then, you can see that it's gone pretty well. We had 1 loss in the Champions League. Now, the Champions League doesn't count to our points totals, but what it does count to is our reputation with the board, because they expect us to get out of this group and get right the way deep into the competition. So it's important that we still do that if possible. And I've managed that. I've got out of the group and we've got Porto in the first knockout stage. So that's coming up later in late February. We've also won the Super Coppa against Lazio. Doesn't really matter particularly, but it's a nice thing to have achieved. We've gone through a couple of rounds of the Cup competition in Italy, and in the semi-final we've been drawn against Roma. We've got a 2-legged semi-final of that coming up as well. So it's a busy schedule. But as I say, Inter Milan caused us to a draw in the game that we played against them. But other than that, since Verona, we've won every game and we're beginning just to look like we're in a good run of form. Although I'm not quite getting, excuse me, the best out of my squad as much as I'd like. The collective is doing better than the individuals, I think, at times. Defensively, we're doing quite well. This back line is doing very well. If we go and have a look at the competition page, you can see, let's go in and have a closer look. You can see that our goal difference is 29, which is all right. 40 scored, but only 11 conceded. And that's where we're really succeeding. I think some of the other content creators are scoring bucket loads of goals, but maybe not quite as sound defensively as we are. But we're not quite getting the goals, and it is going to be important. If there's a tie on points with anyone, it'll be goal difference that helps sort it out. So we need to up that if we can. But overall, I'm very happy with how it's going, and I think that we've got a reasonable gap building up, especially down to Atalanta. It's only Lazio that we really have to worry about in that sense in trying to take the title away from us. But if we win the game in hand that we've got over them today, then that takes us 7 points clear, which is very positive. And today, if we come back out, you'll see that we get Parma. And Parma are game number 22 in Serie A. And that's the game that all of the content creators will be putting out in their episode 3s. They're not all playing Parma. We haven't got the same fixture list as each other. But for us today, it's Parma. So where are Parma sitting? Back into the league table. You can see they're down in 16th, which is a pretty good sort of sides for us to be playing currently, just to keep this good run of form going. So the only other thing that I need to tell you about really is 2 things. One, I don't know what the others guys are doing. I know that they've been financially playing it slightly different to me. But it's been quite difficult. Juventus, Lazio, what am I talking about? Lazio, it's one of my other saves that's just finished. But Juventus, we've been losing money quite consistently. And it's a bit of an issue, but I think, you know, once we get some form of prize money in and other things, that will hopefully sort itself out. But it could be slightly tricky for next summer if we stay in the competition through till next season for us to then spend some money. We'll have to wait and see on that, but I'm not particularly happy with how that's going. January window has been come and gone. We're on the 2nd of February. And it was quite quiet, deliberately so. I thought this side has got a good momentum about it. They're working well. And fortunately, nobody really came in. We had half-hearted attempts by the likes of Liverpool to sign Dybala, but it never really got anywhere at all, and we never were likely to sell any of them at all. So we kept the squad, and I decided not to go and unsettle it by bringing anybody else into it. I felt that we're comfortable enough to play the second half of this season with what we've got, and hopefully the player familiarity gets better and we improve our style of play in the next couple of months as well. So nothing happened in January, but there was a transfer that happened at the end of the summer that, naughty me, I forgot to tell you about. Now, originally, you remember we were going to go for Tonali. I mentioned that in episode 1. That didn't come off. It was just negotiations were problematic. They wanted too much money. I didn't really desperately need him. So in the end, what I did was I sold Cuadrado to Manchester United. He's just left in the January window, although I sold him at the back end of the summer. And what I bought in instead was left back cover. A lot of the content creators have done that. If we go into the squad, you've got Danilo at right back, and you've got De Siglio, who provides good cover for him at right back. Originally, I was going to play him as left back cover, but decided he wasn't really quite good enough to do that. He plays right back so much better than he does left back. So we brought him over to the right side again, having got rid of Cuadrado. And we brought in Muru as the left fullback option. And he's a good young, 25, but he's a good Italian prospect. And that's what I've tried to do a little bit. I've got a couple more Italians in here, I think, than maybe some of the others have. And that's what I tried to base my side around a little bit more than maybe they have. But Muru came in quite a while ago. You can see he's played 11 times for us. I just forgot to mention it in the second episode, if I'm totally honest, because there was such a gap between the first and the second, I forgot. So that's the only other change that's come in. But other than that, Cuadrado went out, and that's where we find ourselves in terms of our squad. We made a couple of summer signings, not many, and we've tried to maintain a balanced, positive group of players ever since. Let's go and have a look in the dynamics, and you can see that we are fairly happy. Gozzi wants to go out on loan, but I can't afford to let him go just a moment. He's a homegrown player and I need him for the balance of my squad. Apparently I'm still failing to positively influence a few of them. Okay, what can you do? I'm trying my best. We're on a good run. If we go through here, you can see the hierarchy. And there's only one that opposes me, and Szczesny does. And I don't really know why he does, because he's getting plenty of game time. But everybody else is either supporting or a bit non-committal, which is much, much better than it was. The social groups are good. It's only Muru that's slightly outside of it. So overall, it's not too bad. If we go into the club vision, just before we go into the game, you can see that we're on a B. To summarise, the board are very pleased with your overall leadership. So at the moment, the board are happy enough. I'm happy enough. We're working towards all of our targets, still in the Italian Cup, still in the Champions League, still at the top of the Serie A. Now we need to just be as consistent as possible and try and put the pressure on the other content creators, especially in Group B, in my group. So all the links to the other content creators are in the description below. Go and check out their content, and especially look out for the Custard Prophet later in the week. He puts a recap video out that looks through all of the different episodes that have been put out on a game weekend. So go and check that out. But as I say, all of the other content creators' links are in the description below. So go and check them out and support them as well as me, which you're doing magnificently well, by the way. So thank you for that. Good numbers on this series, which is fantastic to see. So today is all about maintaining the consistent form that we have. We are against Parma. They are 16th or whatever it was in Serie A. We're currently sitting on top, so I expect us to win. In terms of personnel, you can see we don't have any fitness issues, which is good. So we've been able to pick out the starting lineup that we really, really want to. And that is Szczesny in goal with Bonucci and De Ligt in central defence, with Danilo at right back, Sandro at left back, a midfield three of Bentancur, Pjanic and Matuidi, and then we have Ronaldo and Dybala supporting Higuain up top, and everybody else pretty much on the bench. So let's get into today's game and see what happens. So we've gone with we're favourites for a reason. Go and show them why we are. We're at home, which is another advantage for us. So I expect nothing but a win. I desperately need to keep this good run going and keep putting the pressure on the other content creators. So let's see how we get on today. Now the front three, Dybala, Higuain and Ronaldo, are not scoring bucket loads for me, but they're doing okay. And that's a fantastic early goal. 14 minutes in, Dybala with the free kick down this right-hand side sweeps it all the way to the far post, and it's the on-running De Ligt that gets onto the end of it. As I was saying, the three of them haven't been scoring absolutely tons, but they've been doing a good enough job of working in the team unit, and collectively we're doing very well. No offside issues, no issues to speak of, to be honest, and De Ligt with a fantastic header. And that settles us down early in the game. We get a good early lead. And here's a free kick for Parma, but they lose the ball, and it's Ronaldo on the ball. Get a chance to break. He's got Higuain up there with to support him. Puts it through, one-on-one with the keeper from a very acute angle, and that was a lovely finish. Goalkeeper was quite, I would say he was at an error there, really. It went through his hands from an acute angle, but a good counter-attack from Ronaldo down that right-hand side. Put it through nicely to Higuain. Took it very wide. But then it was a bit of a mistake, wasn't it, from the goalkeeper? But Higuain needs the goals. I think Ronaldo and Higuain are both on at about 6 or 7 goals or whatever it is. Maybe a few more than that now. I can't exactly remember if off the top of my head. But they need to score a few more than they are. So that's good. And we've seen Dybala, Ronaldo and Higuain all involved in the 2 goals that we've scored so far, which is great to see. Pjanic on the ball, moves it on to Bentancur, and he's got options down the left-hand side. Pjanic again on the ball, which is good. He's the playmaker. Matuidi sees the spot down the left-hand side. Sandro in the box, puts it onto his right foot, back to Matuidi, and then he sweeps the ball over the top of the bar. Bit high and wide, wasn't it, that one? But a good move nonetheless. We're focusing a lot of our play down that left-hand side where Ronaldo is, but we still use the right-hand side here and there, but it's working pretty well. You can see that we're ruling the roost here. 12 shots at goal, 5 on target, 4 for them, none on target. We've just got a little bit more possession than they have, not too much, but that's the way that we play. You know, it's not all about static controlled possession stuff. It's about sweeping movement, so that's why that is. Couple of yellow cards that we have to keep an eye on. And Ronaldo, he's had some fitness issues for me, to be honest. He's been a little bit inconsistent with his fitness, so let's hope that he can see out this game. If we're a couple of goals up halfway through the second half, we'll probably take him off because Costa is a very good replacement for him. So we'll praise them at half-time, send them back out for the second half. No reason to change anything at this point. And just see if we can get another goal or two in this half and see if we can get a comfortable win, continuing a good run of form, continuing to put the pressure onto the other people, the other content creators. I'm coming for you as much as I can, folks. But it might just not be enough if they continue their good run with a very good Juventus side. It's not going to be easy to pick up dropped points. Dybala again, and Ronaldo with a header puts it narrowly wide. He's got a couple of headed goals, but not quite as many as you might think. And now I think is the time to go in 67 minutes in and just rest him a little bit. You can see that his fitness is not quite as good as the others. At the age that he is and the slight inconsistency he has had this season, that's understandable. Costa, though, does very well. Higuain again, not particularly prolific and not brilliant up front today, so Dembele comes back in. And then I think we're going to take one of the fullbacks off just to take one of these yellow cards out. And Danilo's complacent and got a lower rating as well as the yellow card. So DeCilio will bring him in instead. And that's the change that we're going to make. No change to the style of play or the shape. Nothing needed. We're comfortable at the moment in terms of the match stats. We're very comfortable. We're far in advance of them. But here they come down the left-hand side. We get a semi-foot in, but it doesn't quite work. And then they put a header slightly wide of the far post from where they started out the run. The move, should I say. And actually, that wasn't too bad. I was not really panicked by that at all. And we get to build up right the way from the goalkeeper. Matuidi in lots of space, puts it out wide right to Dembele, who's found himself out there to provide some width. Back into the top of the penalty box with Pjanic and Matuidi. And we've dropped it back to keep the ball, which is, good. That's helpful as long as we do keep it. And we have very good ball-playing defenders, so that's helpful. Sandro, down the left-hand side, advanced all the way into the box for Bentancur. Dembele with a header. and the loose ball gets swept up by a defender and booted clear. But another good half chance, I would say, but not quite the one that we were looking for. Dybala again to that far post off the free kick. A good first attempt that was blocked. Bentancur with a follow-up straight down the sights of the goalkeeper though, and he claims it with no problems at all. Looks like we're going to get a really decent 2-0 win. It was very comfortable, wasn't it, really? In terms of the match stats, they never really threatened us. We came back with a decent amount of possession, loads of shots at goal. Not as many on target as you'd like, but even so, a very good result. So we'll continue to praise them and say passionately, I'm very happy, well done. And just let them continue to be built up by that for the run that we've got coming up. That properly instills us at the top, 7 points clear of Lazio, which is very positive. Let's just go check that there's no issues for anyone. We hammer Parma. Delict on form, 7 straight wins, which is really positive. There's the calendar moving forward. So what do we come back for next game? Well, we come back for game 30 in Serie A. We've got game 30 that we're coming back for, and the following episode will be the final game of the season in the Serie A as well. So still 2 episodes of this particular save in season 1 to go. We've got to get through to season 2 in Versus 4 for it to continue. I think at the moment, game 30 is around here for Verona. Unfortunately, we've already played them on an episode, but that's just the way it's worked out. Everybody's coming back to play the same game, game 30. But that might change just depending on whether we get through to finals and other knockout stages of the Champions League and stuff. Who knows? We'll have to come back. But at the moment, it looks like it's going to be Verona. So I hope you'll join me for that and continue to support this series as you have been, which is fantastic. Over all of the 8 contributors from the other content creators, there's been some great numbers of viewers. So it's been fantastic to see. So keep it up. Keep commenting in the comments below, because in the recap episode, the Custard Prophet picks out a few comments and puts it into the episode and talks about what people are saying. So do that. Keep commenting in the comments below and maybe you'll get spotted by him. But yeah, thanks for joining me today. Another good win. We continue to try and put the pressure on the other content creators. We'll see when their episode 3s drop how well they're doing. I'm unsure, so it's as interesting to me as it is to you. But yeah, thanks for joining me today. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and join my United City community. Click that like button for me and help me get seen by lots of other people if you can. Until next time though, take care of yourselves. I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.